What's good? What's good? Welcome to the Epic Entertainment Critics. I am Antoine,
And I am still James.
and we think everything is working good for a minute. So we're gonna do a review on a Netflix newest Netflix series called The Warrior Nun. Pretty sure this was a graphic novel first, but before we do any of that, we got an intro. All right, all right, we back. Warrior Nun. Uh, I think that just dropped this weekend, and it shot up on Netflix on the little the popular the popular movie thing or the popular
Yeah,
watches on Netflix. It shot
yeah.
up to number two. Unsolved Mysteries is number one actually.
Real,
So they
yeah.
brought back Unsolved Mysteries. I watched a little bit of that. They changed that, and that's a whole nother podcast because I was a little kind of disappointed on like what they changed it so much. But
I,
anyway,
I, it's a good thing you decided to do this because I wasn't even willing to give Unsolved Mysteries a chance yet.
well, it's not the same. I'm gonna tell you that. But we'll talk about that another day. But today we talking about Warrior Nun. Um, this actually this kind of like when I saw this, I said, "Why didn't sci-fi pick this up? What is this?" You know what I'm saying? It's got the little sci-fi written all
It, it,
over
it,
it.
ha- it, ha- it has their feel to it, the way they do shows.
Yeah. So I kind of saw the trailer, and then I saw, um, I saw some of the same kind of little tropes that I usually see in shows like this, where they got a little training session, and the new girl is like, showing off her new powers and whatever. And the other girl's like, "Oh, you think you tough, huh? Let me show you this, or let me show you." That same kind of
Yeah,
deal. We see that all the
yeah,
time. And so I saw that they showed a little bit of that on the trailer, and I was like, it's the same old shit, WB or whatever. I watch whenever, but it started getting a little buzz, so I kind of decided to check it out. Man, it's not the worst.
no.
I didn't watch all of it yet. I watched about 3-4 episodes, and I'm kind of just gonna give a review about the first half of the season. What you think of it so far?
For the kind of show it is, I'm actually a little bit impressed because
Mm.
I was expecting it to look like The Order did. You know, like
Ooh, did you watch some of that?
I didn't I only watched the trailer on that one.
Oh,
But
I
man,
watched about half episode. But go ahead, continue.
like that 2005 wet CGI was what I was expecting, you know. And I'm not gonna lie, I was really impressed by the CGI work on this, and
Uh-huh.
also the fact that they didn't beat you over the head with the premise as much as I was expecting.
Yeah, that's the thing. You got to decide which. I mean, I guess it's a good thing where they didn't just come in with a voiceover at the beginning telling you long time ago. This is you know what I'm saying? How they do this? They give you this quick backstory and like, nah, they kind of throw you into a situation where you like, what the hell is going on? And things slowly start to come out, which is a good
Yeah,
way to start a show that'll keep people watching. Um, and I also respect, and we're doing good. I got some bad, but I'm gonna do all the good right now. I also like the fact that they don't mind hitting that hard R with they got some gore. They got violence and gore and adult language. I didn't see too much nudity, but I'm holding out hope. But they they do got some adult themes, which I was like, okay, it's got a WB vibe. I mean, sorry, CW vibe, but it's still a little more grittier, a little more harder
yeah,
R, which I'm like, okay, it's keeping me interested, and I'm respecting that.
yeah.
How you think about the tone? What you think about the tone?
The one thing I was a little worried about at the beginning, I thought they were going to go a little, freeform with it.
Uh-huh.
Like because freeform picks up all those YA novels and make shows out of them.
Yeah,
You
it
know,
looks like it seems like a YA novel because your main protagonist is a teenager.
yeah,
Yeah.
and so like I thought they were going to go that route, but they kind of held on to that R status, you know.
Right. I mean, because they from the
So
beginning, I seen somebody get their fingers chopped off and blood squirting out his hand. I'm like, okay, well,
yeah,
they got me intrigued with not being afraid to, you know, not being afraid to show some gore because I,
yeah,
lead the kids shit to the CW. You know what I'm saying?
right,
So
right.
so watching it, and so that was my first impressions on it. Storyline wise, it was not we don't too much know what's going on. We got uh the main character. What's her name? Ava.
Ava
What's her last name? You just said Selva.
Silva.
So okay, so this takes place in Spain. So I imagine it's a Spain show, but I think all the language, the original audio is in English. I thought it was dubbed. I'm not sure on that. I'm trying to figure this out, but I think it's an English. I think it's kind of a American and Spain kind of what's the word, collaboration, I believe,
Ah,
and I think. But they say all the original languages it's in English, and the girl talk complete good English. She sounds like she has an American accent. I think
yeah,
she's actually from Spain though. We talked about that earlier,
yeah,
and this is the girl I'm talking about. I'm sure her name is Albert Baptista. Is that how you say her name?
yeah. Alba Baptista.
Yeah, that is your main protagonist in the series, and it starts off where she dead, and and it's kind of cool that you don't know nothing. I'm like, okay, how did she die? What's going on? You find all that out a little later.
Well, like I was actually really impressed because that's usually the thing most of these series would lead with.
Uh huh.
So and so was brought back from the dead, and
Yeah.
now she is the warrior nun, or some nonsense like that. They didn't even let you know anything about that. Like you figure, okay, so how does our main character end up involved in all this? Oh, she dead.
I think the purpose of that was to put us in her position where she gets thrown into this world and don't know what's going on. So are we. So we have to figure
Right.
it out when she does. Excuse me. But that is the start when I started kind of like this is some of my bad stuff. Cause okay, this is the story. She's dead and she is I don't know why she's at this. I guess it's like where they do funerals or maybe. She's at the convent, I guess, for nuns, her dead body, and I guess they was gonna, get ready for a funeral or whatnot, and then they get attacked, and they get attacked by somebody we don't know, and all these soldiers come in, and then these girls that they look like some badass commandos or something. It's like our friend, we need to operate on it. Our friend got shot in battle or whatever, and then they do this whole we must take her power and give it to another. And I'm like, okay. So it's kind of one of those. We jumped in the middle of what's going on without explanation, which, like I said, I appreciate that. And they have to pass her power on or whatever. That's kind of cliched, but okay. And then it gets to a point where they get attacked and they need to hurry up and pass the power on. So her body is the closest one, so they pass it on to her body. Now I don't want
Well,
to
like
take. Well, go ahead.
it wasn't even that. It was like, so from what I gathered, the point of putting it in her body was, all right, we can't put it in the person who's supposed to get it right now, but if we
Right,
put it
right,
in a body, that'll keep them from finding it. Like,
right. It was one of those. We have a person that's able to. We have a person that's in line to take the power, but she's unavailable right now. So we got to
you
pass
know,
it on to this next person.
well, no, like it wasn't. They weren't even trying to pass it on. They were literally trying to hide it in a dead body.
Well, no, I mean, okay, but I kind of went back and looked at that first episode again just to see because I was doing something else. When I just noticed that they was going to pass it to a girl named Lilith because they was like,
Yeah.
who's the next in line? They was like Lilith. They was going to pass it to Lilith, but they got attacked, and then when they got attacked, the dude almost had the the power, and she was like, well, fuck, she had to give it to the girl that was on the slab. I think
Yeah,
that's how it went. Now, maybe
because
it was
like
a little different.
they talk about it later on. Like they were genuinely surprised that it managed to bring someone back from the dead.
Right. I mean, whatever. I don't know. And that's where you kind of wonder: is she special? Is it something about her? I feel like I don't think so, but um, that's how these shows go. The Chosen
Yeah,
One. I
yeah,
really hate that whole
yeah.
the
I'm
Chosen One
hoping
stuff.
they're
She just a
smart
chick
enough
that
to.
just was there at the right
She just
time.
shit.
I'm saying
Like if they put it in anyone's body, it would have done the same stuff.
right, exactly. I'm cool with that. And then this person is like, I need to. I feel like later the stuff gonna come out that made her the chosen one, but I feel like I hope that she just somebody that was right there at the right time, and then she got to make the best of it.
Yeah.
Mind you, she was dead and she came back to life. Now, um, she didn't really know she was dead because she kind of like died in her sleep or whatever. Uh,
They're going out of their way not to talk about how she died too.
right. Well, they talk about it later in the next episode,
Oh,
so
okay.
we kind of get a little idea what happened there. But it was insinuated there was foul play. Like she didn't have nothing to do with it. Somebody else did something to her or whatever. And I'm gonna just leave it at that. Let people whoever want to watch it see that
Right.
without spoiling too much. So I mean that's kind of the gist of it. And then from there it went down a little bit for me because the show was like, I mean, it kind of picked up kind of strong, and then I was like, okay, so now she's got these powers, and because they passed it on to her, and now she's kind of just like the way she kind of was handling it. I mean I guess anybody would, but I was kind of like I really don't care, but they got to get this out the way with. They didn't spend too much time. I think I was a little impatient, but they whole somehow she knew all the stuff she can do, which I don't know how that she figured this out. But when she went to see her old friend, she like, I can walk through walls. I can do this. I'm super strong. I got superpowers. Like she just she just kind of like figured out like all the stuff she can do like right away. Did you see that? Did you kind of notice
Yeah. Well,
that?
because I kind of get it because some of the stuff she found out by accident,
Right.
But at the same, she is way too stable for someone who just came back from the dead,
Yeah.
found out they got superpowers, and also there may be some weird shit going on, apart from that,
But
and she's like,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
and then like her first course of action is to go to talk to a kid about I think I got superpowers. It's kind of
Right.
like watching Shazam.
Yeah. I mean that's cool because they didn't spend too much time on it, so I'm not gonna be mad at it. It's just that this whole discovery of the power section. This is kind of cliche. It's something they do in these when you got
Yeah,
powers, and now you're gonna have a little montage of them trying to figure it out. But the stuff she did to me was kind of stupid, but I understood it more when I went back and saw that she was paralyzed her whole life. Well, since she was a kid, she'd been
yeah,
paralyzed. So it was exciting to her to be able to move and to be able to do stuff. First, I was like,
yeah,
I'm like, why is this dumbass going to dance at a club? Because she had this scene where she went to the club and she doing the worst dancing I ever seen. But okay, now it makes sense because she was paralyzed. She's just so happy that she can move. So I get
yeah,
it now. When I
yeah.
first saw it, I'm like, this ain't the way. If you figured out if you came back from the dead and you got powers, who would behave like this? I kind of get it though. It's kind of like I never got a just chance, and now I'm just gonna have a
Yeah.
little fun with
Because
it.
it took me a while to really come to terms with it because I'm sitting there thinking man, if I come first off, I got to deal with coming back from the dead, and I got to deal with coming back with superpowers. I'm gonna be acting different, but they did go out of the way to say it's well, you know what? She couldn't do anything
Right.
before she came back. There was that scene when she first comes back where she's trying to come to terms with the fact that she can feel her limbs. That wasn't something she could do before.
Right. Yeah. Right. I mean, it makes sense that she get confused and then get happy and just start doing everything she can. Uh, with her powers or whatever. Um, so I was like, okay, I thought they kind of, I guess it didn't take too long, and this is a 10 episode show. So I was kind of wondering, I was like, man, I don't want to take too much time on this because I wanted to see what's going on with the nuns. What's going on with that main story. Taking too much time on her, figuring out that she can walk and do all this other stuff was kind of getting on my nerve. Now, going back to the nuns, we got a character that I was like, shit, she's so badass. She should be the main character. Shotgun Mary. I said, this. There we go. They always do this. They always make one of the best characters the supporting character. And I'm like, damn. She going around trying to find out who set her friend up. They kind of alluded to it. I think they were lovers.
I got.
You see that later. I don't know if you saw that. I think that might be in the third episode. But I think they might have been lovers. I'm not sure. But she's on a tear now, trying to find out who set them up, makes a kind of interesting story. So they got a whole subplot with one of the nuns, Shotgun Mary. That's basically, she's one of them badass. She's like what's they call them? Loose cannon. I go my way, you go your way, kind of deal. You know what I'm saying? But she's still one of the nuns, but she's still kind of like the badass nun. I give her that because she was interrogating somebody, beating the shit out of him. I'm like, damn. I was like, is she a nun or a mercenary? I don't know.
Like she could use her own TV show, man. I'm gonna be honest. But she officially has my favorite line from this entire series already. What's her name? Lily gets on her because she never comes to combat practice. I got no picture of her. Honey, I got 2 shotguns. I don't need combat practice.
Yeah, they call her Shotgun Mary. See, I think do I got a picture somewhere? I got a group picture. See if I can find her. This thing takes forever to pull up a picture. Way in the background. Never mind. I got a picture of her. I was trying to find out. I need to. But it's the black chick with the French braids.
I will say this much. Even though she's the only black chick, it's like I don't know if they went out of their way to do this or these are just the actresses they picked, but like they're not, like the only one who's like white is the one that dies in the first episode.
You mean like which one you saying now?
Sister Shannon.
Oh, what do you mean, like American white or maybe?
Like full on, like blatantly Caucasian.
Oh, well, they
like it's in Spain, so they're gonna be.
Well, yeah, I mean it's a lot of European.
But it's like they got a couple of Asians in there. I saw.
Yeah. It's a mix. It's a mixed cultures in there, and the Asian girl is British. So
most of them are.
Oh, well, in this one, yeah. So I mean, it's like a mixed culture. So that's why I'm like, they're in Spain. I don't know if the main character's supposed to be American though. That was my whole. That was my whole confusion on it, and that's only because she's got an American accent. She don't sound like she. But I mean, sometimes they just do that when the dubbing. But I don't think it's dubbed. I think that's just her regular voice.
What I think it is that because like the accent you use speaking any secondary language is always going to be dependent upon what dialect the person teaching you speaks. So like a lot of people in Europe learn British English, but quite a few of them learned American English as well. So I'm figuring she just learned American English.
Yeah, but no, it's too good. It don't sound like
super American.
That's what I'm saying. It don't sound like I hear. Let me bring up, and that's I got a picture of Shotgun Mary. So that's Shotgun Mary. Who's that play about? Did they ever say her name? Toya Turner. Yeah, she a badass.
Yeah.
So anyway, so it's stuff going on with the nuns where they trying to find Ava to bring her back because she got the power, and she's dancing and shit. And let's bring this other scene where she meet this group of people. Basically, she meets some squatters, and and they find like vacation houses for rich people and stay there while they don't stay. They say they only stay at their vacation homes for like once or twice a year. So while they not there, they just live there. Where they get their food supply from though? They got a supply of great food.
So like it depends on, because like this is something that's actually apparently rather prevalent in Europe.
Uh-huh.
So like some of these places, like people get paid to like keep them stocked in case
they just want
somebody
to come for a vacation,
yeah
or
you know,
holiday or whatever.
yeah
Mm.
and in some cases like with like it'll be like folks ain't even broke, they just figure why pay for a place,
Right, and
and
they
so they come with
squatters
their
they
own
just going
money. Yeah,
because nobody never's there or whatever. And I know how
right.
I know the idea. I was
Yeah,
just wondering, like, I don't know how she just stumbled upon this place. It just was a little too convenient. Where she found
plot.
a whole group. All right, but she found a group of people, cool ass people, that was like,
Yeah,
yeah, you can stay with us. Yeah, we stay in this expensive ass mansion, beach house. She's like, y'all squatters. First she was like, make a joke about it. They like, yeah.
like
I, I was like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, they're not really important to the plot. But I just feel like, I don't know, it's just weird that she stumbled upon them.
yeah.
Um,
I'm gonna be honest. The second she started getting cool with him, I started counting down, man.
to what?
I'm like, how long till these kids die?
Well, I didn't know about that, but I just knew that, she found a group of friends, um, that was, kind of like, okay, they cool and they kind of meet the expectations of everybody you need. Good looking, they all look like models and shit.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? It's
you
like,
know,
come on.
well,
Uh,
because all these shows have like the group of like suspiciously attractive
I
outcasts.
know, like these people, like for real, all y'all could just be models. Y'all all
You know,
fucking,
they're all extremely attractive. They're
attractive,
all
ripped.
each of them.
All the women
They're
got
all
hourglass
skilled.
figures. I'm like, come on, y'all.
Everyone's extremely skilled at least one thing. It's like, how are y'all just squatters?
Yeah. So this brings part that I really don't like. So while she's getting getting comfortable and getting to realize her abilities and whatnot, they got this voiceover of they got like an inner monologue,
Yeah,
and I'm like, why do they have this? They do not need this at all. The girl, where I forget the actress name, Alba Batista or whatever, she's doing a good enough job at acting that she's doing enough body language, a nonverbal stuff to show her emotions. I'm getting it. Why do we
yeah.
need this little inner monologue? Oh, he's so hot. Oh, oh, I hope he's into me. Oh, I'm gonna. Boy,
I
I
would
hope he don't think I'm stupid because I did this. Stupid shit like that. That's.
like
Go ahead.
because like I would even say that like I'm sure that their idea behind it was
The
to
younger audience.
make her more relatable to a younger audience, but it makes her seem less interesting. You
Well,
know,
I was gonna say, when you got like an actor that can't give off those emotions that you don't know what they thinking, um, you can say, well, a inner monologue would help right now because I don't know what this person thinking. They too blank. Her acting
right?
was good. I got what
Yeah,
she said. I already got that her from her body language and whatnot. The way she was looking and stuff. I'm
yeah,
thinking they added that for the younger audience. They added that little for that because this is going to appeal to young females. Like this is going to
yeah,
appeal to young, like YA young adults. This is definitely going to appeal to those fans. And I'm guessing. Now I'm just guessing that they put all that in there to for them. They
yeah,
don't because they didn't need it. You know what I'm saying? And every
yeah.
time she talks, it's out of place. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
true. That's true.
It's like we didn't. Every time she do that whole inner monologue, we didn't already got what we need to get out of the scene, and then they just add the little inner monologue. Ooh, this is how I feel. Okay, I got it. I don't need you to tell me. Thank you. You know what I'm
I
saying?
am wondering. I'm wondering how much of this is like.
Oh, go ahead. Finish.
I'm wondering how much of this is like from the directors and the showrunner, you know, because like I don't know what else any like the showrunner on this has worked on. I think his name is what like Simon Barry. I think is the name of the showrunner. But like
Uh-huh.
I don't know what else he's worked on. But because this seems like some daytime TV style, you know.
Yeah, that that's some of the parts that didn't work. That's what I said. It's good and bad.
Yeah,
And I told you about the good, and that is bad, and some of the storytelling of the coincidence is bad too. Uh, in the second episode, they ended up at some party that had to do with something that, like they ended up by chance. Her and the squatters ended up by chance at a party that had something to do with everything that was happening with her,
yeah,
right?
you know,
Or
yeah.
something
And you know what?
supernatural going on.
So
Like, how did they just ended up there?
so
Stuff
you
like that.
mentioned Yeah, so you mentioned earlier on this has kind of the feel of like a sci-fi show. So like
Yeah,
a lot of sci-fi's action shows come out of Canada. You
yeah.
know, so shows like Continuum and
Well,
you know
the
all those.
the budget, I can tell it's a low budget on this. But go ahead, finish
Yeah,
saying what you're saying.
but like for whatever reason, all of those shows like they seem to do this thing where it's like, okay, who's involved in the plot? Okay, how many times can we make these people run into each other before they actually meet each other? You
Yeah,
know,
but see, it ain't even them. It's just the fact that the other guys like, oh, we're going to this party. We're going to crash this party and get some free food and shit. And I'm looking like, okay, this party ain't the kind of party that you would just hear about. You know what I'm saying?
right?
This was a demonstration for some kind of supernatural artifact that this person found that might have something to do with their whole nun order, which these squatters ain't got nothing to do with at all. So how the hell they know about this party and how the hell they just crash it? That security suck. I was looking like
They
for this
they
big
managed to find out who
expensive
had a press
ass.
pass, man.
Okay, I'm going off. Okay. For this
I know. I feel.
this big expensive ass thing with this supernatural thing that's probably worth all these millions of dollars, you got the worst security in the world. Just there. I'm looking like, okay, stuff like this makes me mad. Where you had something going and you blowing it. We'll just
Like
see.
that
We'll
whole
see though. Go
that
ahead.
whole part of the episode is just constantly slamming their security. You know, you got one person who strolls up into the party, just blatantly says, "Oh, I'm not supposed to be here, but I'm going to be here." You know,
Right, and they just take the security guy card in front of everybody. But by the way,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
first of all, you make a ruckus, people gonna look, and then when you see somebody sneaking behind them and take his card, that's gonna make me say, damn, maybe you ought to check them out because they might be up to no good or whatever. No, nobody saw that. Anyway, whatever. Point is, they ended up where they needed to be. The order found the girl, and now we're going to and now we're going to find out what her power is. Now, we could talk about once she got back with the nuns order, and now she knows what her role is, and she know why. Now she know how she got this power and where it come from, and
right,
now she's learning how to use it. So this is the scene where they exposition. Now this is exposition where all the people is going to tell her about her powers, where it come from, and how to use it. Um, where it kind of cracks me up every time they do the same kind of style scene where they walking and nuns in the background are sparring, or they always doing they always fighting and hitting the mitts and sparring like every time they go somewhere. I know they train a lot, but that started to get so annoying. It's like they do that in every scene. They always got to be walking.
yeah. Well, it's kind of like there's that whole thing. Like anytime there's a interior of like a church or a religious complex scene in any kind of movie, there's always like a priest walking through the place talking to somebody.
Right.
You
I mean,
know,
they do that on
like
scenes like this where they have people training in the background while they walking by
Yeah.
exposition, giving them the exposition about why you're here and all that shit.
Yeah. It's
I
like,
okay,
by the way, the nuns train. No, we got that. Oh, while we here, the nuns train.
yeah,
Okay, no, we get that. They train
right.
a lot. No,
They
But
train them to
whenever we're
be
here,
badasses or whatever, and that's cool. It's just that's just for something to throw in the background. They do
yeah,
that. It's kind of lazy, but whatever. Uh, Now the way they kind of telling this little backstory is I don't really care for it. I'm gonna get your opinion on how they doing it. It's like they got her keep reading the story about the person that the power came from. You know, I guess that's to tell us too. But the
yeah,
way they got her like reading it, and she had the right reaction at first. She said, "Can I just skip to the part where this got something to do with me? I don't care about this shit." You know what I'm saying? I was like, "Damn, that's exactly how I feel."
yeah. Because like what it comes down to is like you could have told her the whole story in 5 seconds, but instead you said, "Now why don't you read that book and then you tell me how you understood?" It's like this ain't a book report.
I know. I was like, okay, I didn't ask for this shit. This shit happened, and now you gonna have me read this stuff and figure it. No, tell me what's going on. You know, or tell me how to get rid of it. Now that's one thing they ain't talked about yet. It's like, why ain't she talk about getting rid of it? But I'm guessing if they get rid of it, she die. I don't know.
Yeah,
So I
and
mean, that's
so
not an option. If I was
right.
her.
So that's the thing I was actually thinking about. Like, I I guess this has more to do with the story from the comic, But
Yeah.
like, I would have said it would have been a better choice to say like they don't like once the person who has the power dies, they don't know who it's gonna go to, you know. Because like if it's a matter of choosing the
I
person
think
it
you
goes
gotta
to,
move it to a different person though. I don't think
well,
it
yeah,
don't just
yeah, yeah,
go. It ain't like the
yeah,
Green Lantern ring.
right. You have to take it out. You have to take it
Yeah.
out.
Right.
So my thinking is this: look, I don't want the girl to die neither, but since y'all clearly at least Shotgun Mary is okay with killing people, uh, y'all know who's supposed to get it. So why don't you yank that bitch out?
Yeah. Give it to Lilith.
Yeah, because it's not like our main character so far is anyone special. She's not trained for it. She's not
Right.
down with.
She don't. She right. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. She's somebody who happened to get the power, but she don't want it, and she's not a fighter. And she tell them, you know, they tell him like, "You have been chosen for this special mission." She's like, "What, man? Look, dude, I don't know shit about this. I'm not down with none of this. I don't know all the. You on a special mission? I ain't. You know what I'm saying? I got lucky, and I'm cool. I don't want to fuck. I don't want to fight for you. You
Right.
know?
And not to be cold and callous about it either, but to be fair, she is legally dead. So I mean,
So I think from their point of view, whoever got it, the power, you got don't have to fight for us. But the thing is, how you gonna convince her to fight for your cause? You know, she might not even be Catholic. You know what I'm saying? It is the whole point. Do I gotta be Catholic? Speaking of that, you think that priest banging some of them nuns?
it
And I say
has
that because it's all young, hot nuns. It ain't no older. It's one older nun, and she's like Mother Superior. It's all young, hot nuns, just all around their place. Don't put me up in
yeah,
that mother. It's gonna be some problems.
you know,
It's gonna be some problems. I'm just
I
saying.
just
I don't think like that because I grew up in a religious household. You know,
right.
so church and sex never mixed. But if you
You
put me
know,
up in there,
I'm not gonna lie. I had wondered,
well, I'm just saying. I mean, honestly, you got all these young hot nuns, and they all never have sex. Come on, dude. You know what I'm saying? I figured it's gonna come up, but okay, no men, only one priest. You know, I'm pretty sure he probably tell them some, you know, to release your burden of your physical. I will once a week. You know, this is sanctioned by God. Once a week, I have sex with every different
uh,
nun, and that'll release your burden of your pleasures of the flesh. Don't let me work there. But anyway,
uh,
back to the story.
no, I was a little worried about that at first, but like, I think he genuinely takes sort of like
Yeah, I know
like
he's a good
a
guy.
more paternal role there, but there the dynamic there does feel weird and hard to grasp sometimes between him and all the different nuns and how they interact with each other. like I can't tell who's cool with each other and who's just there. And
Well, the thing is, how much is they're not gonna like? How much do they go by the vows of like? Are they totally into that, or are they just there? You know what I'm saying? Are they just regular people that's there? You know what I'm saying? Whereas like,
yeah,
are they cool with relationships? I mean, they're not supposed to, right? Nuns not supposed to have relationships, right? Yeah, right. Of course
right.
not. They take a vow of celibacy, I believe, and
Married to God.
huh?
They're
Oh,
married to God.
yeah, right.
Brides are
Right, right,
all that.
right. So all that, how much of that? Because Shotgun Mary, I don't know if she a nun or just she just stay there because she don't have no problem killing and hunting. And I don't think I heard a curse, but I think she used profanity. I think she do what she want to do. And I'm like, okay, who do they want to do, and who's committed to the religion part? Whatever. We'll see. This is the first third of the season. I'm going to wrap up. First third of the season. It's pretty interesting so far. It's kind of on that pace where it's moving kind of slow, and you kind of get what's going on as we go along. I could tell just by the first few episodes. It's pretty interesting. I like to keep on watching it, so I'm gonna go ahead watch the rest of it, and then we'll review the second half. But as of the first half, it's interesting. I don't know where it's going to go for us, and I haven't seen a proper villain yet. Maybe we'll get introduced to that later. But for so far, I give it a high, right? It's a watchable. I'm watching it, and I mean, it's worth keep watching. I don't know if I can give it a dope, but it's not bad though. It's actually pretty good. I'm close to that dope, and if I continue to watch it, if it improves on some things that I had a problem with, I'll probably slide up to that dope. But as of right now, I'll give it a high right. What'd you give it?
I give it a solid eye. Like I'm a little like I'm mid to high all right, Like it still has time to get up into that dope territory, but if they handle it wrong, it's gonna have to drop down into whack. So
All right,
it
I
all
feel
depends
you.
on how the rest of the season goes.
Right, I feel you. All right, that is that's our review for Warrior Nun. Actually, it's just the first half of the season, though. It's the first third of the season. So, yeah. So we will have a review for the second half later. Sorry, I can't watch the whole thing. I didn't binge it, but so far it's worth the watch. It's worth. It's not bad. Not bad. All right, so we're gonna be out of here. Thanks for checking out the video. Subscribe to the channel, and give us some thumbs up and all that. All right, y'all, we out of here.
Peace, y'all.